Howdy everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. April 5th, I'm going to do this market analysis, but I'm also going to use these patterns now as the driving force to select the timing and the individual indicators to see if any of these are worth pursuing. Now again, this is data coming out of a demo account, out of Dukas copy. This data might not be accurate, but I just want to show you the mechanics of it. First of all, I want to make sure that this strategy I'm working on is really working only on bullish or long only. I will take a look at the bearish stuff here just to confirm for testing, but usually I'll just want to focus on bullish stuff for now. So the first one we're going to look at is Brent. So I've divided everything up into commodity, currencies, and equity. So the first one, as I said, for commodity is the Brent. So really, to be honest, looking at these pattern charts is not really worth pursuing in terms of knowledge or what we can get out of it. All we're really doing is trying to identify these as patterns at the current moment when we're analyzing the data. As I said before in another video, you could use an entire strategy around these patterns, but I want to be smarter than that. So for now, we're just using them for commodity or for timing. So if we do get a pattern, we'll just say, okay, maybe it's time to trade it. So let's go into it and figure all that out. So the first thing is, let me just load up my stuff here. Now I've run all the analysis for all my other charts and data. This will be part of my analytics service. It's going to be a lot of data, but obviously you will want to find ways to get through this because it is pretty important to understand the best opportunities. That's what we're after. So right now we are looking at bearish oil. I can probably guarantee you all this data found in the patterns are only using end of day. We could also use intraday patterns as well, but I'm not really interested at this point to trade intraday. But this is more like a watch list, a way to filter out the false positives I've been mentioning for many months now, just to prevent bad trades. I mean, these charts that are generated, or the patterns, they obviously still have a 50% chance of being failed trades, but that's the idea behind these other indicators that we're looking at. So like I said, we got a bearish here for oil. So let's see the end of day data, what it says. It probably may go down. Just looking at that. Now again, I am intending to improve the charting with Chart Director, but for now we'll just keep it as such. Now again, I have no interest in going into the shorting of things. I'm not very good at it, or not yet at least. It's just so much to watch as of now. So long makes sense for now, and then I'll add in shorting down the line. So you can see here there was some buying opportunity. Does this mean that we are going to go down? Well, first of all, let's make sure that we are within the golden zone, which we are pretty well overvalued. Now, I wouldn't buy this because of the overvaluation, but you can clearly see we had a cross. The spread is still fairly wide between the two moving averages, the 20 and the 50. There is no sign of any form. I mean, I could probably look at it in the 4 hour. Let's just check out the 4 hour and see what it says. Again, there is a cross here, so there is a potential of it has dropped off. I mean, if I was watching this earlier, it would have been flagged earlier, and I probably would have caught that trade. And again, the patterns are still fairly new. I can also use the patterns to determine timing of entries and exits, specifically around entries, which appear to be pretty good. But judging from this, it's possible it has gone into some sort of shorting or bearish mode. So maybe that chart is correct based upon that chart. So I'll give that a potential move. But again, let me look at the trend line here. So it's still strong or moving up, but it has come off a little bit. And the patterns, again, if I did an intraday, I'm sure it could say something. So I may need to run that. But again, we're just assuming end of day data. Okay, so everyone's going to go on about Bitcoin. We have here a bullish pattern that's been found, a Gartley. So let's check out the trend line for the daily. The Bitcoin is fairly now this data is so incorrect. This is not right. Again, we're just looking at the mechanics of this. That's why I put this warning out. But in the meantime, let's just say it is below the resistance. So it may obviously get hammered, but let's see what the so the signals are still in a sell mode. But the big one that really confirms it, I mean, if I look at the Fibonacci, you can clearly see it's undervalued. So that's not a, but with the moving average is the one that really makes a difference. But you can see here that there has been a cross. Here's a cross here, another cross here. So that means that it is still going to drop, and then you have this 200-day moving averages now just showing classic shorting signals here. So it may continue, even though this probably, if I was to put money on it, it's one of those failed signals. But I probably would say that the Bitcoin will continue to go down. Is there any point looking at beyond the daily? It is hitting the resistance there, so that's where it gets very interesting. Bouncing around there. Still selling on the momentum down. And then the moving averages. Again, once you have that 200-day moving higher than the other moving averages, that's a very strong down signal. So if anything, this may have some opportunity on an intraday level for, you know, kind of like scalping, I guess you could say, which I could do. But right now I'm not really all that interested because it's just, at this point, it's too volatile. But who knows? I may have a separate trading account for crypto exclusively now that I've got a way to fund Bitcoin. It's the question of doing it. All right, so the next one that is generating signals is a bullish on copper. Let's get rid of that. All right, so copper it is. What's the daily telling me? It's choppy, but it is trending up. Okay, so but it has been selling. Well, let's see how the valuation. See, it's just close to being in our zone that we want. But what's the moving averages saying? Once again, that 200-day is just seems to be a little higher than you want. So maybe there's some downward momentum there. But the funny thing is, it's a bullish signal. So who knows? Let me just see all our okay, where are you? Okay, I'll find you. Okay, here we are. Let's go back to our charting for the patterns. Okay, harmonic, there we go. Okay, so we are now going to look at the junk bonds, bearish. If the markets continue to go up, yeah. So let's see the junk bond stuff. That's probably is true that it is going to go down. Yeah, definitely, but it's when it hits this resistance. The Fibonacci retracements. Lots of good shorting there. Again, it's just getting clobbered when you have the 200-day moving average that high. So of course the valuation's getting clobbered. But it's still in a bearish. But if this ever went bullish, I'd be very interested in that. Okay, XAG, I believe, is gold. Let me just verify that in a minute. Okay, so XAG, I believe, is a ETF for, oh, I'm sorry, it's silver. Okay, so that is silver that we are looking at. So that is a bearish XAU. XAU trend line. I'm sorry, XAG daily. Okay, seems to be consolidating here. How is our valuation? It's undervalued. It's bearish. So again, everything's just pointing down. Moving average is below the 200-day moving. So I don't know if you were wanting to short maybe. Okay, so let's look at the XAU. So we have a couple of different patterns. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's check it out. So that's this XAU is gold. So let's check out gold here. XAU USD trend line. So it is pointing up. That's a good thing. That might pique my interest in it. The signaling, more buys, but it's somewhat choppy, but you can see there's an uptrend. Again, this is probably one of those, yeah, so there is definitely momentum here because our cross was right here, and maybe that was the point to buy in, and it may be time to have bought in, but if it's pointing down with the bearish, let me just check out those moving averages again. Yeah, there's this crossing, so it may switch back down. Again, we're just using a daily here. So there is somewhat a cross here happening, so that may be an actual switch once it happens that we can use to confirm that theory. All right, so we've pretty well looked at all the commodities. Now, we have quite a bit of equity. Let me see how many. Yeah, we have quite a bit of. All right, so it's not so bad with the equity. So let's check out some of the equity. Again, the patterns are able to just filter out a lot of stuff we don't need to. So the first equity was the one that I mentioned a few days ago for Germany. You can see here it's bullish. So let's see what it says here. Because a few days ago it was like the perfect time to buy in. Is that right? DB1, DB1. So the Fibonacci, now it's overpriced. So that would have been a good time to buy in. Definitely here. It's across. It's done decently, it looks like. And yeah, there's been an upward momentum for buying. So definitely that's something to watch. But is it going to turn? We don't know. It's a tight spread between the 220 and the 50-day. But yeah, that might have been something good to get into. All right, so let's check out EMB. Let me just make sure here, because DB1. Oh, you know what? That I might be wrong on that. DB. Let me just see here. I can load up this puppy here. The good old Forex. Yep. Okay, let's see what DB1 is. Come on, buddy. Wow, it's really slow. Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you. So DB1 is a Deutsche Börse. So I'm going to assume that is the German, which was flagged. Deutsche, so that's a bullish. Okay, so yeah, we looked at that. So the EMB is that is JP Morgan Emerging Market Bond ETF. That is possible if the markets are doing quite well. So let's check out EMB. You can see how much stuff has been filtered out here. EMB. EMB. You know what I should do? I should also load up the overall rankings. Yeah, so we have our ranking spreadsheet that I should be loading up as well, so we can get a summary of everything. So much data in this system now. It's pretty crazy. So let's see here. We got to get our Microsoft. This one right here is what overall ranking. That's for equity. Okay, so we'll load this guy up and we'll sort everything. No, we don't want that. FX pair. This must be it. Okay, so we're going to sort. So we need results, column C, sort, column C, descending. Okay. So again, it's no different than what we had before, the Japanese index, the LSE. So the one we're looking at right now was the EMB. So let's check out the ranking for that. EMB, 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 EMB. Now the question is it bearish or bullish? Bearish. EMB. So that is flat. It looks like it's not. I don't even know if it's worth looking at. See, EMB right here. There is something. Well, that's the emerging bond, but let's just check it out. Okay. So we need the EMB, 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 EMB. Where are you? EMB US daily. So we want USB trend. Let's see if this has anything. So that's pointing down. And there was a buying. It looks like it's down, but what's our? I mean, definitely that is correct. As if you were to as a shorting opportunity, I don't see. So the Spanish has a bearish. Let's check out the ESP. For ESP daily, ESP index, that's definitely correct, I think. But it's that moving averages. Yeah, you can definitely tell by the moving averages that's below the 300, or sorry, the 200-day moving average. So that's definitely the right call. So these are all bearish, and oddly, this is. I'm not even going to bother with that one. So the EUS, that is EUS. EUS. It's probably not subscribed for some reason. EUS. EUS, all right. EUS index. There is a EUS index is a bull for that, even though I don't see it listed. EUS, so how's the Fibonacci? It's in our zone. Moving average, well, it may be starting to turn here in the 4 average, moving average. Everything's tightening up, and it did jump up, so there is some validation to that may be true, that it is a bullish. So that is a definite. EWJ, so bullish for that. EWJ is MCI Japan. So now we're going to start looking at Japan. Okay, so we have EWJ. Okay, let's check it out. So EWJ 4 hour on the trend line. Choppy, choppy, choppy. EWJ signals. What's the moving averages seeing here? Oh, definitely another another potential opportunity here. And what's a 4 hour moving average saying? Oh, yeah, I would think we have our ching winner here. So that is definitely right, a bullish there. Bearish EWZ, which is, I'll eventually get used to these. So that is Brazil capped. Let's see what's going on with Brazil here, EWZ. So we get some good representation globally, which is good. 4-day, and that is calling for a bearish. Interesting. How are we looking in the valuation? It is in the golden zone. Yeah, that's definitely, see here, it's moved up. I'm not sure if I'd go on that one, but we have France here as well. Bullish for, yeah. So we have bullish for France, 2 of them. We have two different patterns here that have been found for France, bullish. Let's see what they say about France. France, slightly moving up. Okay. That's a tough one. But what's the moving average? See, it's right there, it's below. But what does our 4 hour? It's getting close, but it shot up. Interesting. So that might be correct too. Now we got Great Britain. Let's see what Great Britain has to say about that. GBR daily. Coming off the resistance as well. Stats, signals. That may start going into a buy signal. We're just catching the early stages of it. It's definitely close. But is it crossing here? Yeah, it's crossing. There's some tightness and it's broken through. So that looks like that is correct as well. And then we also have a Gartley and a Bat, both bullish. Oh, it looks bearish. Interesting. I didn't catch that. That one is a confusing, but if you were to look at it at this chart, I would think, oh, it's spiking up. It's a tough one, tough one, tough one. Okay, so we have IBB, which is what? IBB. So we have NASDAQ Biotechnology. Okay. All bearish. Okay, I gotta make sure I get the right signal first before I start getting all excited and being wrong. Okay, IBB trend line, US dollar 4-day, boom. Let's see where this is at. That's breaking through, so that's a bearish. That looks pretty well correct if you ask me. Pretty close. It's undervalued, just hit under the value there. Yeah, that may be accurate. So we have IYR bearish. IYR. So that's real estate ETF. All right. Butterfly. IYR. Let's see here. IYR. Let's do a daily trend line. Wow. There is more support decline. Definitely, but something's brewing there. But it's definitely, if you ask me, I think that would be correct. We looked at that. I wouldn't put money into it. The signals, I don't know. I would be putting money in there. Okay, Japan. This is bullish. So where is our Japan? Because our Japan index is number one. This is where I probably deploy quite a bit of capital. Yeah, it's pretty strong. So it looks like Japan is definitely probably looking pretty good. Let's just check it out. Japan, bullish butterfly, 2 patterns there. Japan, where are you? Daily, yeah, you might have, see, it's within the golden zone. Looking good. It's tightening, but it is below the 200-day. It's below the 200-day. Let's see what's going on in the trend line. Oh, definitely. I'd be pretty interested in that. Here we got a cross happening right there. Yes, I like that. I really like that. So there might be some strength to that when you look at the slope as well. Overall, I do like that. Okay, the LSE, let's not bother with that. That's just the stock. Okay, so we've looked at commodity, but I did not look at the overall strength of something. I didn't see a lot in the equity space, but I'm sure the one that people may be interested in is always asking about Bitcoin. So let me just see here. So we want the fib. Fib. There we go. Okay, so we want commodity again for the overall ranking of, let me just, okay. So let's go coin, look for our spreadsheet here. So where are you? FX portfolio. This is what we want here. Okay. So, okay. We need to sort by F descending. So as usual, the Bitcoin is up. Slope is still pretty strong. That's for the last year. I don't know. I find Bitcoin, just as I said, is just one of those weird things to trade. But definitely the Japanese index looks pretty good. I'm definitely down for that. Okay, so let's take a look at Forex Currencies. We have lots here to go through. So let's look at our first one. If I do remember, let me just pull up the overall spreadsheet for our ranking. Okay, so we want, let's pull up the, so we want this one right here, I believe. Okay. Oh. Let's compare. Where are we? No, we don't want that one. No, we don't want that. We want the FX ranking spreadsheet. Where are you? FX ranking, this one right here. Okay, so this will tell us the pairs that look pretty good. And we can kind of, so we want to sort by F. Sort F, column F, descending. Okay, so here we are. So I do distinctly remember the order here. It was the euro, Swedish coronas, Swedish, well, let's just say Swedish, USD, Swedish, and British pound, Canadian. So do we have any patterns for this pair? Okay, so oddly enough, there is no patterns identified. Interesting. We do have, excuse me, excuse me, we have patterns for bearish on the USD Swedish. I'll confirm that in a minute. I want to do that now. Okay, so USD. It's gonna get confusing here. Okay, USD. Gotta reverse that. USD Swedish. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. It's calling for a bearish signal, and that might be true. Okay, this has been buying. you'd think it's the other way around. Maybe there's something in the 4 hour that we're not seeing. Could be losing momentum. It's just doing quite well, actually. Fibonacci, it is overvalued. So that's possibly what's potentially could drive it down if it's overvalued. Trend line hourly. Yeah, it's hitting the support, so that's probably what's. No, it may be just peaking. Yeah, see, there's a slight cross there. The spread's tightening, so it may be losing its momentum. Yeah, it's still overvalued. Yeah, it's something I'm not a big fan of, unless I wanted to go into shorting based upon what I'm seeing, because what's in the spreadsheet here, that's all historical data. So this may be possible that it may be going bearish. So let's check out some of the other currencies here. So we have a bullish on the Australian and CHF, the franc, Swiss franc. Let's see how this is doing. Okay, Australia, CHF. These little hidden treasures. So it's just coming off of its resistance, I believe. I always get those two confused, even though I shouldn't. Buying came down. It is definitely undervalued. Yes, it's starting to approach the so there's the Australian. So it's had a negative slope. Number of positive returns compared to other currencies, so it's not very strong historically. Let me pull up the stats, see what it reveals. I don't run the stats, so I'm not going to worry about it. But let's continue. So that's a bullish, and there's 3 of them. So that's pretty strong signaling. That's a tough one, but we could maybe look at the in Forex here, as we have the power of Forex as well, same data source. So we want Australian CHF. That's hourly. Huh. See on our daily. It's been beaten down pretty good. Loading orders. Let's see the stochastics on this guy. Where are you? Where's the function for we want indicators. There we go. We would like to see, let's check out the stochastics. It doesn't say a whole lot unless I change momentum. Why is that? Guess I chose the wrong one. Indicators, add indicator. Stochastics fast. Okay. Slow SMA output. Trend up, trend down. Let's see. I like this way. Trend up, trend down, trend up, and then down. And we are going to use this guy. This makes more sense from my point of view. And of course, it never applies it. Why, oh why are you not working? Okay, boom. You know what, I'm just going to leave it. Come back, edit indicator, and what we want is output, style, no. Okay, so it's more just getting battered down. Yeah, nothing I'm not too happy with when I see that. Okay, so let's see. I will just say this about anything to do with the Swiss franc just doesn't do all that well, lately at least. Okay, let's check out this guy. I mean, there is some potential here. So it's still within our golden zone, which is good. Moving average, it's undervalued, but it is coming up. But what's it saying? It's a bullish. And that's pretty strong to get 3 pattern signals from a loop. Looks like there was a cross here. So maybe there was an opportunity to get in. It is still within the zone, which is good. The question is if that momentum will continue. So that was the yen? No. Bullish as well, the Australian, 2 of those. Oh man, okay. Let me just check out the Australian, Japanese yen daily. Down, it's coming back at maybe. It's been battered down. What's the 4 hours say? This is probably more of an intraday opportunity. Yeah, it's breaking through. Let's see what the moving average is. It's still below, but it looks like it may break. Historically, it is undervalued. This may be a decent currency to get into. I'd have to do more analysis. Let me just see what the kind of... Okay, so we have here another... There's something going on with the Australian dollar. Now the New Zealand trend... Again, it's just hitting that resistance. Timing may be, yeah, still a 4 hour. Looks like it did cross somewhat, but it's still going down. I wouldn't put a lot of money into it, but let's see what's going on with the Canadian. I'm looking for anything that just screams buy, buy, buy. These Australian pairs look decent, but I wouldn't put a lot of conviction behind it. So we have the Canadian bearish. So this is all going bullish. And with the Canadian against the franc and the Japanese yen, just looking at those pairs on the defensive side, where there is probably some form of signaling overall that the Canadian dollar will probably start to weaken here. It's possible. Let me just verify that. This is all bearish. Canadian dollar against the yen. But there's something positive going on with definitely Australia, but the opposite for Canada. Japanese yen. That's a bearish. No, I wouldn't put a lot of money in this at all. Just check the move, yeah. But it is coming back. Yeah, I'm not going to investigate on that. So we have a Euro Canadian. See what's going on with that one. Euro Canadian trend line. That's pretty strong, actually. Do it across here. It has come down. It's overvalued, though. Just because it's overvalued, I don't think I'd dip into that. See what the historical Fibonacci says. It's coming back into over intraday. That's a bullish. I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah, not a lot of good stuff going on there. The euro and the DKK, the Danish. Let's see what the DKK has. Choppy. Nothing. It's not going anywhere. Well, it's got some upward momentum there. Cross came up, did a nice comeback. And let's see here. Fibonacci. It's too high, too overvalued. Just blown on that. I wouldn't go in. Euro, Japanese yen. Euro, Japanese yen. Again, just going nowhere. Been selling. Again, it is coming down. This may be something to watch, I would think. But the moving average, see, it is crossing. See, historically, when you look at the last cross here, it moved up quite a bit. This may be something worth watching. And that's a bearish. So maybe it's a good shorting. So British pound and the Japanese yen. So we have two bullish patterns here found. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Japanese yen. GBP, Japanese yen. Okay, on here. It has good momentum there. Some signaling. Moving average. Looked like there was some shorting opportunity. That's fairly wide if you ask me. But you can see here, it may break through. And it's some buying. Did cross. That's looking pretty good. This might be more of it's in line, but on the it's not too expensive. This could be an interesting one to get in on. Japanese yen and the British pound and the Japanese yen. Let me just see what we have here. Now again, I can do all of this automatically. Okay, let's see what it says here. Indicators. Okay, stochastics I like. Stochastic. Output. Trending down. Okay, let's see what this has. Okay. Add. As you can see here, there's a lot more trending down. It's a 1 day. It's kind of going nowhere. It's probably a yeah, it's not going anywhere. There was a nice run up. So this may be an interesting one to watch. It's got a bullish on it. Okay, so yeah, I'd probably put that down as something of interest. British pound, the US dollar. Let's see here. That's got some nice uptrend too. Pretty good. Yeah, that's looking not bad. Had a nice cross. And the fib is telling us what? Overvalued. Again, overvalued. Probably the previous one might be better. Okay, so is this our... Now we hit the US bearish. Let's see if this is actually true or not. US Canadian, I have been reading that it is going down, possibly. Yes, that's definitely a bearish signal. Yeah, I think this is correct. It's in the zone though. Yes, there's going to be more selling momentum here. Yeah, definitely. It's a bearish. Okay, so that's bearish. US dollar. So it's a US dollar Swiss franc. So Sevner, have good luck with these guys. Let's see what it says here. It's downward momentum, but it's saying a bullish. Look at that. There is definitely some buying going on. Moving average. Looks like there was a cross here. Last time we had a cross, we had an upward momentum. That's possible. Valuation, I can see why. It's definitely undervalued. So that's probably pretty correct for that one. US Danish. Bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Not going anywhere. Oh, no. We want this one, the daily. Yeah, that's down. So that was a bearish. I would think that's definitely pointing down. Definitely further down it goes. It is undervalued. Yeah, I would say that's correct. Okay. So now it's saying bullish at the same time. Yeah, I'd be just focusing on these two. Mexican peso. What's this? That's a bearish? Huh. I would have thought that would have been a positive. Let me just see the spreadsheet here. USD Mexico, negative slope. Yeah, it's all negative. Okay, alrighty. So let's see the daily trend on this guy. Yeah, it's broken through. Definitely, that is correct. Butterfly bearish. Okay, the bearish on the USD on the Norwegian. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see here. Yeah, I would think so. Those trends are looking pretty down. More selling. Definitely, if that's what it's saying. Undervalued, of course. That looks to be correct. Now, if I remember, we looked at these ones. So let me just, that's a bearish. So there you go. I think these flags or these patterns look pretty good. If you ask me, I've already talked, but the real strong one, once again, is the equity for Japan. This time, last time it was the German. It was not bad, but this guy, let me just see here. Yes. So that was a Japanese bullish. If I remember that, these look pretty good. So all in all, I think this is a great way to filter out a lot of the false positive stuff. It's not 100% accurate, but you can see through the process that you can kind of get an idea of what where to deploy your capital at this point. And it looks like the Japanese index is pretty good. Let me just check it in the J4X here. So Japanese index. So let's check out the daily. Where are you? Monthly, weekly. Yeah, so it's been pretty good. Yeah, it's been on a nice little tear. So January came down. So since roughly March 25th, 2080.36 to 2180. So yeah, something I keep my eyes on for that index. All right, so it looks like I might have a good workflow with the patterns on top of what I used to do, and I would probably, without a doubt, use this methodology against everything. The patterns can also be applied to the crypto as well at any time frame, so that's pretty strong there as well, using the same methodologies that I've been showing here. The only difficulty with the crypto is that it's very volatile, but I probably, with crypto, it's usually a intraday strategy anyhow. But there you go. Hopefully I'll help you out and get some use out of it and see how this may pan out. We shall talk to you later.